Wednesday. Look, there's a van on the drive. Yay! What can you hear? Drilling, hammering. Of course, by the end of the day, I'll be thinking, oh, fucking hell, the noise. But at the moment, I am very happy it's outside. So it's not actually priority, but it's the shutters, the new shutters that we've been really looking forward to seeing posed. They're posing them, and we're really installing them and looking forward to seeing those. They're taking out all the shutter dogs. I wouldn't know what else to call them. I only know that name. It's the things that hold the shutters open when you have the shutters open, and they sort of do that. They're taking those out so that we're having everything, all the metal work, all the iron work will be new. So it's going to look spiffy. Meanwhile, we're still living in shit indoors. No ceilings, crap on the floors that need hoovering, but it's like, why would we go over with the hoover to have more shit drop down? When I'm not talking about mouse shit, that's gone, but you know, dust and dirt, and it's like there's no point in putting the shark over, although it's really getting to me that it's really messy. You know, we've walked in and out, and where Mark trimmed the other day, there's grass been walked in, but the guys that are doing the shutters are walking through the kitchen, you know, from their van through to the back of the house. So they've only got one pair to fit at the back of the house on the back door. The big double doors, the big double shutters are staying and will be painted in place. I contacted the indoor tradesman yesterday, Christoph, sent him an email saying, have you any news for us? And got an email back from him saying, yes, when Jerome has passed, meaning when Jerome the electrician has been and gone. But Jerome the electrician isn't telling me when he's beening and goning. It's really frustrating. It's more frustrating not being spoken to or not having any communication, people not communicating. That really, I'm not going to say what I was about to say because I don't use those terms, but that's really getting to me, as you can tell. So yeah, I don't know. We sort of half thought, well, maybe he'll be here today. He did suggest last week, and I know I'm repeating myself, he did suggest that he could start this week. Maybe he meant today or tomorrow or Friday. Don't know. So we are going and we're taking our neighbour out at lunchtime for a lunchtime meal. We discussed with him a week ago a backup plan if I had to do something else with my house sitters. I'm still hanging back about that because I'm hopeful that if Jerome passes through and does the work that he needs to do, that the other tradesmen can come in and get the house, get the ceilings up and the painting done within 2 weeks. But every day that Jerome doesn't come is another day closer to me thinking, what the fuck am I going to do? And I've thought several things. I feel like if I have to say to them, I'm really sorry, and put them off, I feel like I'm going to have to put them up in a gîte locally, because, you know, we've been planning this for months and months, and their kids have been really looking forward to meeting Ida and Jazz and the chickens. I will feel really bad if it comes to that, although our neighbour's going to be the backup plan. So if I do have to put them in a gîte, we can connect them together and they can come and visit. I mean, it might be that they have to be in a gîte for a week and then they can come. I don't know. I really don't know. And that's my problem, is that normally I know. My problem is I'm normally in control of the logistics, and this is out of my hands, and that's what's causing me loss of sleep. I was up this morning at 10 to 4 and went back at 5:30 and laid there cycling all the shit, and eventually fell asleep, and of course eventually fell asleep, and then the alarm went off. I don't know how much I actually slept before that, but I certainly didn't hear the alarm as it started. You know that it really doesn't get through, so I was in a deep sleep when that went off. Yeah, I'm normally the one that conducts the orchestra, is in charge. I'm normally the one that's in charge. And today I've come upstairs and left Mark downstairs in charge. He dealt with these guys because I was getting the chickens out when they arrived, and he's dealt with them. And I'm thinking, yeah, you do it. I think when we had the digger here and the microstation being installed and all that going on, Mark was really feeling quite old and low and disabled by his knee. It's astonishing, absolutely astonishing what a difference he is since his knee. He had injections last week. Absolutely astonishing. So now he's sort of dealing with what's coming at him, and he's having his other knee done tonight. So yeah, somebody said he'll be chasing me around the house. I don't think that's going to happen. I used to say to him sometimes, when we're joking, and I go to him, quick, run. And he went, I don't do running. And he doesn't. He's never done running. I actually chased the cat down the stairs this morning, which shocked her and me. I was not letting her come up into the bedroom because I knew that she'd had a mouse. When I walked through the double doors, there was blood on the floor, and I knew that she'd had a mouse. And I thought, the last thing I want is her. It's already messy on this duvet, and I know that the duvet cover can go in the wash, but I don't want her chucking mouse entrails up on the bed. That's why I don't have animals in the bedroom, because I don't want them chucking stuff up or doing whatever it is they do. I had an email from someone yesterday who was telling me about her dog. And her dog, who, I tell you this bit because it's not very exposing, they rescued the dog from someone who'd hoarded 103 dogs. Unfucking believable. 103 dogs. And this dog that they rescued was like 97th or something in this group of dogs that had been rescued. And she was in a real state when she was rescued. And took a long time to become adapted to her new living conditions and the love and the care, and she's certainly getting lots of love and care. Took a long time to adapt to that, and a long time before she was potty trained. And apparently somebody had come, I think they were showing somebody around the house. I don't know whether it was a house they had for sale or something, showing somebody, and the dog took a crap in the living room in front of this person. It's like, that's why I'm not a big fan of animals. I see and read stuff about people that love their animals very, very much like children, and I never have. I've loved my children how I love my children, but animals I care for, but I don't. Jazz is quite special. Jazz is quite special, but most animals I care about, and but I don't get all squishy about them. But this dog is very loved, and it just made me laugh to think of it crapping in front of a prospective buyer. It's like, oh God, that would drive me crazy. I'm watching Sandy Brock, and she's got three dogs, I think, two sheepdog collies, I think they are, aren't they? And then she's got another dog. And I watch her working with the lambs, and I watch her doing stuff, and the dogs are right in there, and I would get so pissed off with them. They're right in there. She's trying to fill a bottle of milk for a sheep, for a lamb, and the dog's in there trying to get to the milk, or the sheep are giving birth, and the dog, one of the dogs is in there trying to eat the afterbirth before the sheep eats it. You know, that would do my head in. Absolutely do my head in. So anyway, there we go. Oh, they've stopped making a noise for a bit, but that's good. I'm really, I don't know how long it's going to take them. It's quite, they're really getting onto it. They arrived at about 9:15. So, happy Wednesday. Happier when Mark gets his knee done tonight. Happier when the electrician turns up. There's bits missing from these shutters. These shutters that go across, they roll in the bedrooms. The rails are not here. The rails were ordered on the Devi and would have come up for painting by Christoph with the shutters. So they're, I don't know whether they rung him yet, but it could be that the rails are still at Christoph's depot. It would be quite good if he turned up today with the rails, because we could talk to him. He doesn't know we're going to Canada, and we need to tell him. I need to tell him, because if he leaves it too long, I won't be able to pay him until I come back in June. So, okay. Have a nice day, whatever day it is in your part of the town. I'm sorry I've not replied to any comments. I've been too tired, distracted, too much pain in my hands. The river was, somebody asked about the river that we were at yesterday. That's the river that goes past here. It's the Gartempe. It's very pretty, as you saw. And what else? Yeah, Trump. His lawyer. Oh my God, that guy with all the shirt. God, I wouldn't trust him as far as I throw him. They're sort of like, they're like criminals themselves. Oh, what a nasty piece of work. What a nasty piece. He looks really ugly. And I think people that have ugly thoughts like he does, it shows on their face, doesn't it? So he's an ugly man anyway, and he's been ugly for as long as I've known him. But he just looks ugly. And he's so fucking arrogant. And I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't hold out any hope, because he's Teflon Trump, isn't he? So anyway, I'm gone now. Yeah, drilling going on. Very happy.